And when we made this shift, things started moving so much quicker. We became freaking magnets to the things that we want. It's like, it doesn't even take time anymore. It's wild.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Goddess Hangs.
Episode 93.
Woo! 93! We made it!
Made it.
I'm Sadie.
And I'm Juliet. Obviously.
And we created the Goddess Hangs podcast to make the world of mindset, manifestation, and magic more relatable
and fun.
Nailed the intro.
We
could record it, but it's more fun to mess it up sometimes and get excited when you do a good job.
You know, it's like the thrill of the thrill of the chase.
The chase of actually getting it right.
Oh
you know, gosh. 93, we've done that 93 times and we're getting there.
I know.
It's crazy.
I know it is. It is.
Wow. Well, we have a really fun episode planned today. We wanted to talk about like what we mean when we say we're witches. What's the difference between manifestation and witchcraft, and why we've dove fully into the world of witchcraft rather than just being about manifestation. I guess that's kind of the point. So we're excited. But before we get there, Juliet, what's new with you?
Oh my gosh, I have tea.
Tea?
I have so much tea. So I'm going to start with the last thing I wrote down because it interests me the most. Okay. I had to make a list. So, I did not put my phone in Do Not Disturb. So let's just hope nobody calls.
Nobody call.
Nobody, please. I'm not available. So anyways, I get so fascinated by genealogy and family trees. And I can spend, on any given week, hours on ancestry.com. I think you all know this about me.
Your own family.
My
tree.
family. It's all about me.
I'm like, are you studying random people's family trees? Which can be interesting.
Totally. So what prompted all this past week is in November, my mom and I are taking a trip to Memphis to go visit Graceland because we're big fans of Elvis Presley. I am convinced that I'm related to him.
Oh.
I'm convinced. I have not yet drawn the line, but my grandma, who grew up in like the Midwest, the South, her maiden name is Presley. Her name was Beverly Presley.
Oh, wow.
And there's like, that went back to like Joseph Presley. There were all these Presleys, and I was like, they have to be related. And so I spent hours. I could not find the link. But as I was doing that, ancestry.com came up with a bunch of other things, because it'll be like, oh, we found a potential mother, we found a potential father, and it'll just go back and back and back and back. One of my lines goes back to Richard and Sarah Proctor, who lived in Massachusetts in like the 1700s. And aren't those the last name of the people in the Salem witch trials?
I was going to say Proctor sounds familiar.
Elizabeth Proctor, Richard or Robert Proctor. And it was just like same last name, same time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, there was some witch prosecution potentially in my family.
Interesting.
There was some Elvis Presley magic potentially in my family. Then I was able to trace the Piper line back, and I found Thomas Piper and Robert Piper, who both were drafted into the Civil War and fought on the Union side.
Wow.
Who knew? I didn't know.
I tried to do this, and my dad's side, absolutely nothing. Couldn't even find records of my grandparents or my aunts and uncles. Like, I'm like, I don't know why there's no records of them. My mom's side, I could get back to like my great-great-grandparents because I know the names of my great-grandparents. But then after that, it got fuzzy, and I was like, I'm not sure. But my dad's side, like, doesn't exist in government records for I don't know if it's because they're a farm family, so they're pretty off the grid, or what.
Maybe.
It's really strange. Like, I can't even find my aunts and uncles.
Because I have some that just cut right off.
Yeah.
Like my grandmother's mother, they're like, who? They
It's like,
can't even go past beyond her.
My dad and like one of his brothers and one of his sisters, and he's one of 9 kids. So they just don't exist. It's so bizarre.
It is strange. There was one that kept we found a hint, we found a hint, we found a hint. And I got into all these people who were born and lived in Ireland. It was like Macmillan, McMahon. And it's like you grow up hearing like, oh, a piece of you is Irish, a piece of you is Russian.
Yeah.
But to see their names was so cool.
That is cool.
It's like all of these people are sort of like their memories, their literal memories and their DNA are in us. So to sort of understand maybe who they are or the time they grew up in, it's just so fascinating to me.
It really is.
And then I found like my mom's line. It was like, oh, born in Russia and all these. It was so cool. It was so cool. So anyways, that was really fun. If you're into ancestry and genealogy, drop a comment, or if you're in our Patreon, let's chat about it, because I'm just obsessed. I'm like a little sleuth.
I love it. I need to give that a try again. You know, I learned an interesting fact from, I love Billy Carson. He's all over Gaia. Any documentary with Billy Carson, he just is like this like library of knowledge in his head. But I was watching one with him, reading a book by him right now. Love Billy Carson. Super interesting guy. But he was saying that all of the US presidents have a distant ancestor that was the King of England.
They're all related in like a weird way. Yeah.
Every single one, including Obama. So it's like, and Trump, including him too. So it's just like really bizarre how, you know, and he, you know, he talks a lot about like ancient history and like the real history of the world that like they don't want us to know. But the way he talks about it is so interesting, because he's able to cite his references, and like he's just, it's what I mean is like he's like this library. He has these like ancient texts memorized, and he's able to tell you exactly what he's pulling from. And he's like, you know, we're still kind of in the monarchy, or like, you know, like the England, because all of our presidents are related to him. And it's like, how does that work? How does that happen? It's really interesting.
You know, it would be fascinating, like if somebody could do predictive politics based on that. Like, oh, we have like these 4 front runners. Well, which one has the bloodline?
Yeah.
And maybe that's the one who wins.
Really interesting. Ooh. Yeah. Billy Carson, look him up on Gaia. Good stuff.
Billy Carson. I watched a Gaia thing, actually. I cozied up. I watched a Gaia thing. I was laughing so hard because I was like, how come nobody clicks our affiliate link? All we do is like,
we're like, it's
like,
okay.
It's all right. Like, get a 7-day free trial. I watched something about, oh my gosh, what the heck was she talking about? The Akashic records. Very interesting. Very interesting. And then she started to feel a little bit like someone we used to work for. I started to get like a really, like, are they the same kind of person? And then she started mentioning in her interview, she's like, oh, I used to act. I was in soap opera. I was like, oh my gosh. What are the odds?
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that more later. But anyways. So.
More tea.
Yeah. Okay. So there might be some more, I want to do some more research and I'll come back. I'm sure we're all on the edge of our seats trying to know who I'm maybe related to. But I always love when people said, oh, like my friend Sydney growing up is a descendant of John Adams. That's so cool. Like I've maybe we're just going to be the people that people point to, like, oh, I'm a descendant of Sadie Olson.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Okay. That was new and interesting and fun with me. I had the most wonderful Labor Day. Did we talk about Labor Day at all? I don't think so.
Was that last weekend or the weekend before?
I don't know.
We didn't catch up last week.
We had amazing Steffi. So on Labor Day, I went to a place called Sunset Beach in Huntington Beach. And oh my gosh. I mean, I have such a dream of like living sort of like where you live by the water. But I spent the whole day like in the water, on the sand. It felt so good. We went to dinner after. It was me, Victor, and his 2 best guy friends. We went and we ate right on like the marina, and there was live music, and there were kids playing in the grass, and I like got kind of emotional. I was like, this is so special. Life is so beautiful. So that was my beautiful Labor Day. And then I had a very big, fun, exciting weekend last weekend. My mom took me and her and my sister to see Love on Friday because she's in love with him.
In love with love.
In love with love. And she's like, Juliet, you're gonna fall in love. You're gonna fall in love. Trust me. Like, I'm taking you girls. And my mom should have been, or should be, an A&R person at a record label. She probably heard of Lauv before Lauv even released a song. Like, she's just one of those. And we had the best time. It was raining. Mm-hmm. We got soaked. We were dancing. We had the best time. A guy from Hamilton was sitting behind us. Who I'd seen Hamilton, but I was like, I don't know.
Well, from my perspective, the hot one. Like, he's so hot.
He was beautiful.
It was the actor that in the original Hamilton that plays Philip / what's the other name? Do you remember? You texted it to me. I can't remember. Lawrence / Philip. Yeah, he plays both.
And then in The Heights, which I haven't seen, he's the lead, I think.
I think so. I haven't seen that either.
But my sister was like, oh my God.
I'm obsessed with Hamilton.
So it was a night under and around the stars and the rain.
And the full moon.
And it was a full moon. And oh my gosh, it was so good. He has a song, if you want to see why I love him so much now, he has a song called All for Nothing, parentheses, I'm so in love. Mm-hmm. You also might know him from I Like Me Better When I'm With You. That's a love song. But I'm obsessed. I came home and I told Victor, I'm like, he was really hot and he was really talented. He's like, oh, okay. Great. I've told him, because he knows I also like love Harry Styles. I was like, do you understand these weird dark thoughts I have sometimes where I'm like, if we get married, I'll never have a chance with Harry Styles. As if Harry Styles is like gonna see me and just drop everything.
You don't know.
I'm like, Victor, like I'm in love with you and you're my soulmate, but like it is sad that I won't get to be with Harry Styles.
You don't get a hall pass for Harry Styles? Come on. Come on.
That's why I'm like, I don't even want to meet him because it would never be what I hope it would be. He'd be like, hi, it's so nice to meet you. It wouldn't be like, I'm sorry, there's just something about you.
Come with me.
I want to, hold on, can we like get dinner and I'll write a song about you? Like, it's not going to be what I want. Anyways,
never meet your heroes.
I'm detouring, but we saw Lauv in the rain. It was so fun. My mom looked so happy, which made me so happy. And then the next night, my sister and I went to see Miranda Sings because we are big Murfandas. I don't know if there's any other Murfandas out there. But mostly we just love Colleen and her vlogs and her channel. And when I saw her show, the whole Goddess Hangs tour came to me. I was like, oh my gosh. It's going to be in different cities. Mm-hmm. Every show is going to be a different theme. So you can come see us in Philadelphia and it'll be disco cowgirl themed. And then you can come see us in Boston and it'll be under the sea.
This is the East Coast leg.
Yeah. I know we've got a lot of East Coast goddesses here. Get excited.
And you have to dress up.
Or
you can't come in. Just kidding.
So it'll be like a dress-up night, a dress-up party. It'll be so much fun. Everyone's going to look so gorgeous. And then we're going to come out and do like a fun theatrical dance number. We're going to throw glitter and confetti from plastic bags. And then we're going to sit down and like do a live podcast show. We're going to tell stories. We're going to have pictures behind us. And then we'll also end with like a big dance party.
Yes.
And then there'll be a merch table with our decks and all of our fun goddess merch and little spell jars. And anyways, I saw the whole thing. So that was inspiring and so funny. So much fun.
It's funny because like I know, like I've come across that person, but I don't really like follow them, don't know. But Juliet and I, we share the Goddess Hangs YouTube login. So all the notifications and the whole homepage is like this woman and it's like these absurd like I thought I was pregnant. Like she puts these like, like clickbaity titles and stuff. And for the longest time I was like, who is this? And why is she always in my suggested, not like thinking about how we share a YouTube login? That's what I watch. And then she said she was going to this live thing and then I like connected. I was like, oh, Juliet watches those videos. Because I was like, I've never seen this person in my life. What? Why are these vlogs coming up? And then I was like, oh, and the pieces got connected, and I was like, now I understand, and I'm okay. But for the longest time, I was like, it's just the strangest thing.
I know. Our YouTube homepage is Colleen Ballinger, and then like 555 frequency, infinite abundance. Like, you can tell who's watching.
And Abraham Hicks, and and then one like off beat.
So that was so much fun. And then yesterday we had a big day for the Piper family. We moved my sister into her college dorm, and it was a first for all of us because I never lived in a dorm. My parents never lived in a dorm. Like, it was a first, and it was so much fun, like setting everything up and putting her bed together, and I helped decorate her little.
Does she have like a dorm roommate or a dorm to herself?
There are 3 girls. She's a
in
triple.
the same room. Mm-hmm. Wow, is it a big room?
It's a pretty big room by dorm standards. She has a view. She's on the 8th floor. She has a view of the whole city all the way out to the ocean. You could see the boats in the water.
Wow.
And she has central air conditioning.
Good for her.
And she's right across from the bathroom, which is like a big communal bathroom.
Yep.
Which sounds gross, but it was so clean and so nice.
That's not how I'll tell you about my dorm if you want.
Yeah, what was your dorm like?
Tiny. And me and Huli shared it. No air conditioning, which is fine except for the first month of school and like the last month of school.
Yeah.
Awful. Gross floor bathrooms. And it was like a co-ed floor. So it was so fun. I do not regret that experience at all, but like I was just so ready to get the fuck out of that dorm by the end of the year because it was just small and cramped, super old building. If anyone went to UW-Madison, I was in Celery Hall, which I picked because it was one of the party dorms. There's like, you pick your dorms, and there's like the fun party dorms on this side of campus, and then the like lower key, like more chilled out dorms on the other side of campus.
That's where I would have been. Although now I would pick a party.
And yeah, it was super fun to be on a co-ed floor, but it was like you came out of the elevators and like one side was all the girls and the other side was all the boys. And, we had our own bathrooms, but by the end of the year, like the guys were coming into our bathroom to like, is, Sydney in here? And like, just ridiculous, but really fun. And the floors had different names, and our floor was named Gay House, which we all really enjoyed.
Okay.
And the freshman year of college, I had many gay experiences, so it was appropriate and it felt on brand for me at the time. So we loved that. It was so fun, but it was just like the craziest year. You're sick the entire year because you're living with so many people in these small spaces. Like, I was just sick for 9 months straight.
Oh no, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because you're sharing a bathroom with everybody, like they got cleaned every day, but like still, and just, I'm so grateful for that experience. And I chose to pick my roommate, which was my best friend Juliana, because we were both pretty shy, socially anxious people. Everyone was like, no, get a random roommate.
Oh no, I would absolutely
you gotta do the full college experience. We're like, this feels like a 90% college experience. We'll be fine. We'll just live with each other. But we always had our door open and people pop in and whatever. It was really fun. Not really friends with anyone from my freshman year anymore, though, but we had a good time.
I remember you so fondly.
I remember them fondly. If you're out there, love ya.
So her building, every floor had a different theme, like you're saying, and her floor's theme was the tundra. And so when you got out of the elevator, there was this like really cute banner that almost looked like, it was for like a kindergarten classroom, and it said, "Welcome to your floor. We're going to have a tundra fun." It was really cute with like a little snowman cut out.
Oh, that's funny. It wasn't a gay theme. That was just the last name of the person who sponsored that floor.
Oh, because I was going to say,
but we took it as, we were like, we obviously had fun with it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but it was fun. They had the different last names of people that like helped build the building or whatever were the floors. But we love it as a theme, too.
It's an amazing theme. What was I going to say? So she is at UCLA, and it's where I went. But when I went to UCLA, I have such fuzzy, foggy memories. I was only there for 2 years because I was a transfer. And as during the time I was there, I had my hernia situation, which was so painful and like so vulnerable.
Yeah.
So then I had to have surgery. I was dating a man who was way older than me.
Oh.
I was playing at like one of the biggest venues in LA, like for upcoming singer-songwriters. I was like doing all this stuff, so I was kind of not really present with the college experience. I was like sick and
Was dating someone like older, like out of that
completely
vibe. Yeah.
completely, and pursuing my music. And I was just sort of, I mean, I still managed to get straight A's and like graduate from UCLA as the chancellor's marshal. I led out the entire graduation procession.
I dropped out of college. To be fair, my mother died, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a break.
But see, this is why we need each other.
I also, you know, I'm gonna say obviously. I'm obviously very intelligent, you know.
You are obviously very intelligent.
But I'm not a traditional learner. I like to just get in there and learn how to do it. And once I was like I hated school. I hated going to school, but I love learning. I always loved learning, but like give me the book and let me teach myself. I'm very like, I want to teach myself. That's why I love this coaching industry, because you can sign up for a self-paced course and you can teach yourself fucking anything and like YouTube, and it has it all. And it's why I like to do it. It's like why I even prefer building out a course rather than teaching like one-on-one. But I was fully capable of getting straight A's, and I did pretty much in high school, but like I would get penalized in college because I was working full time to pay my way through college. And so I was just like, I can study better and faster. I'm like a speed reader. I can read really fast and I retain the information, not to brag, but like, I'm like, I don't want to go to a lecture. I can't listen and learn. I have to read. And so with my limited time and energy, I was like, I don't want to go to a lecture and listen. I would rather sit at home and read the textbook and learn it and whatever, but I would get penalized because I'd have to like work while my lectures were or something, and then like I would get bumped for attendance, and like I was just so frustrated and fed up with that. Like, don't treat me like a baby. I'm in college and I'm doing amazing on all of the like work, and you're gonna like bump me down a grade because I'm not present when I'm in school for business and I'm managing a business. Right. You know, it just infuriated me, and I just did not like it. I loved my college experience when it came to the social aspect. But school was just, the traditional form of learning just never worked for me. And like grade school, high school, like when I was little, like I would cry. I didn't want to go to school. I was like, I just want to stay home and read my books.
Opposite. I lived to go to school. I
didn't like being around all the people. I didn't like being called on. My worst nightmare was to be randomly called on. You know, like I had like I knew the answer, but my mind would go blank. Like I'm like deer in headlights. Like I don't know.
Oh.
I hated school, and I didn't learn that way. I don't learn by, you know, all that, like Craig's the opposite. Like I have to voice things to him if I want him to like answer me or pick something, but like I can like read him a menu at a restaurant if I'm like on the phone, like I'm gonna stop here. But if he reads off something to me, I'm like, I have no idea what you're saying. You have to send me the menu to read. Like I can't retain information that way.
Well, what's important is that we know our strengths, we know what we're good at, we know what we need, and instead of feeling like there's something wrong with any of us for preferring things one way or another, it's like just do what works for you.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
The last couple things I wanted to share is that we did an amazing group spell together on the night of the full moon in Pisces. You may have seen some clips on TikTok. I should probably repost that to Instagram.
Yeah.
And it was so amazing. Our coven right now has, I think, like 34, 35 members. And we're so excited. Our coven is growing.
And 90 people in the Discord community.
There's 90.
Yeah. We might be up to like 35 coven members. So awesome. Welcome to all of our new Coven members and BFF Discord babes. We're so excited.
We're so excited. Are you loving it? I feel like you are.
We have a special celebration planned for when we hit 100. We'll let you know very soon.
The triple digits. So our group spell was amazing. If you're interested in joining our coven, we host a group spell every month. We do a live group call every month, which is like a workshop or a guided meditation, something really fun to be together and just work through our witchcraft, our spirituality, all that good stuff together. And you also get this beautiful moon guide that Sadie puts together for you every month. And also, if you haven't picked up on this, we are live on Instagram every Tuesday doing at 3 p.m. Pacific, doing free readings.
Yes.
So if you have always been like dying to get a mini reading from us, that's the time, that's the place. Set an alarm. It fills up quick.
Yes.
And it's a great way to hang out with us live, and we get to hang out with you and get to know you. And some people just want to watch for the first few weeks, and that's totally fine, you know. Observe as long as you need to. Jump all in as soon as you want to. We're here for you. So that's what's new with me. What is new with you?
And in September on Thursdays, we're also going live at the same time, 3 Pacific, to do Q&As. So if you want to ask us for advice or ask about manifestation, magic, spells, we are hanging out on Thursdays too. Okay, so I have a funny... It's the full moon spell, the group spell we worked for everyone.
Oh yeah, what happened to you?
Okay, I feel like this was associated with it. Okay, so too much information. TMI alert. Full moons are about releasing, right?
Uh-oh.
And so I was really like holding space for that when we were doing, you know, Juliet and I sat for a while with like our hands over all the candles. As I do this, I feel like I can like feel the feeling from that moment. And we were pouring, you know, our intentions into it of just like to magnify the intentions that we had helped everyone form for themselves, to support them in releasing what no longer served them, all that. Well, I feel like I was releasing physically on behalf of the entire goddamn coven, because the rest of the weekend I felt fine, but I was pooping and pooping and pooping, and I'm regular. Go back a few months ago, I'll talk all about my poop. I love pooping, but I'm a very healthy pooper. I poop every morning. It's great. I never go more than once in a day, unless I'm sick, but I didn't feel sick. Like, I felt totally fine, but like Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I pooped anywhere from like 3 to 5 times each of those days.
Oh my gosh.
And it wasn't like, I wasn't sick. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't, you know, it was normal.
It was not number 3.
I was just releasing, and it felt great, but I was like, I feel like I feel like I'm just getting rid of everything for everybody, so you're welcome, everybody. I was just pooping. But you know what?
Your membership goes towards a monthly poop report.
We go the extra mile for you. I will physically release what no longer serves you through my body. Sorry if that disturbs any of you, but it's what happened, and I couldn't believe it, and I felt like it was connected.
I'm sure it was.
It was crazy. I've had funny, like, okay, so Mercury is in retrograde.
Yes, it is.
Which, if anyone feels like they're really feeling that and is like, what do I do? How do I get through this? We have an episode from a while ago, but you can search for it. It's called Surviving Mercury Retrograde. So go check out that whole episode. If I remember, I'll link it. But I usually am like, you know, I really try to not manifest like or like prophesize that like I'm gonna have a bad time based on the astrology, right? Like, and that works pretty well for me. I really hold the energy of like, just because it's Mercury in retrograde, like, you know, everything's gonna be fine, everything's gonna work out fine, and like I'll have a few funny things happen here or there, but and maybe feel like a little agitated or out of it, but like generally speaking, like Mercury retrograde does not feel that bad or different for me.
Same.
This one has been awful for me.
No.
I've been so fucking agitated, so irritated. My technology has been going bonkers, like losing things I'm creating, spending hours on, it's quicker when you have to do it the second time. Just like constant,
Oh no.
just shit, just all the time. And I'm just feeling it, like so frustrated. I'm also like gonna get my period soon, so maybe I'm also entering like PMS time, but I usually don't get PMS like too bad.
That must be nice.
But a couple, I used to, but now I poop all the time and it's been better. I don't know. I think it was associated with that.
Okay.
So I fixed that part of me. Anyways, if you want to talk about poop, DM me. I love talking about it. Healthy poop, it's a passion of mine. So a couple funny Mercury in retrograde strikes against me. One of them was that on the first day of Mercury in retrograde, which was also the day we did the full moon spell.
On the first day of Mercury retrograde, which is also the same day we did the full...
My car wheel fell off. Not the wheel. The car wheel well fell off. So I'm driving to Juliet's to go do this spell together. I'm pulling up to her place. It's beautiful. There's a huge wide open spot. Don't even have to parallel park. Just get to like pull up behind this other car on the street. And I hear this awful loud scraping noise. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not even like that close to the curb. I'm just like, I feel like I'm going to throw up. I'm like, oh my God, what did I just do? So I quickly get out of the car, get out of the driver's side and walk towards the back of the car to go around. And as I'm rounding the back of the car, I see this huge chunk of the car sticking out. And my first thought is like, oh my God, the bumper fell off. Like, how the fuck did the bumper fall off? The bumper's huge. What am I going to do? Can you drive without a bumper? Like, this is all rushing through my brain in 0.2 seconds. And then I continue walking towards it, and it's not the bumper. It's this huge chunk of like plastic sticking out from under, in between the wheel and the car. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this? And is this bad? So I go to kind of like grab it, and I barely have to pull, and this huge piece of my car comes off, and I'm like, oh no. So it's just sitting on the grass, and I take a video and I send it to Craig, and I'm like, hey babe, this just came off of the car. And I just point the video at the car, and I'm like pointing at the wheel. I'm like, it came from above the wheel. I'm not sure what this is, but should I put it in the dumpster? Do we need it? And then he texts me back with just laughing emojis. And I'm like, no, you didn't answer my question. And so he calls me a few minutes later, and he's like, oh, like that's the wheel well, it should be fine, but bring it home just in case. And I'm like, well, I'm already going up to Juliet's apartment. I'm not going back downstairs. So I just leave it on the street. It's like on the grass by the curb for like 3 hours.
Just left it.
I was like, no one's gonna take this.
It's an integral piece of the car.
And I was gonna, find a dumpster to put it in if he said leave it. But he said, take it. So then we do our spell, whatever. Victor helps me put it into the trunk of the car. God bless Victor. And then I think I'm on the drive home, and he calls me and he's like, you know what? You can just leave it. You could just toss it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? It's in the back of the car. The car's fine. I don't know what a wheel well's for.
I never knew it existed until it came off your car. I'm going to be honest.
It must have just been, I mean... I don't know. I don't know what was happening.
Below. Tell us what a wheel well does.
I don't know what was happening. It came off like nothing. I didn't have to like tug on it. I just sort of gently went, uh-oh.
On the second day of Mercury retrograde, the planets brought to Sadie.
Okay, this is another funny one. You know how it's like a thing that like your exes will like reach out to you during Mercury retrograde, like that's one of the funny things. Or you might be the ex that's tempted to reach out, which be strong out there if you're the one. Been there. So my high school boyfriend Esteban, he sent me a funny it was just sweet. I mean, we dated when I was 15 years old, and he just once in a while sent, but he sent me this really cute video of like when you go over to like the girl you're dating's house for the first time, and there's like witch stuff everywhere, and had like spooky music, and so that was very cute. So that was just, I was like, that's funny that he reached out to me. But then the other one was that we were on Instagram Live. And and my 5th grade ex-boyfriend, who I did not go to school with, by the way. We didn't go to high school together. We haven't talked
since you were.
We haven't
10?
hung out since we were.
Oh.
So
Sadie is a hard girl to get over.
You know,
if I've learned
I really
one thing.
stick with you, my 5th grade ex-boyfriend. But okay, I have more to say about this. But he's on the Instagram live being like, I think he was like, you girls
Sadie,
look,
you're doing amazing.
yeah, Sadie, you girls look gorgeous. Sadie, you're doing amazing. Like, he's commenting, and I kind of wanted to say something like, you guys, that's my 5th grade ex-boyfriend. We shared a kiss in the there was like some like school fair, and there was these like blow up things you could run through the tunnels and stuff.
Oh.
And I believe we shared a kiss, you know, just like a little peck.
That's so cute.
And then our song was back then you always immediately picked a song with your new boyfriend. Our song was Hero by Enrique Iglesias. I can be your hero, baby. I can take away the pain. Oh yeah. And what's also really funny is my best friend Haley, who we've talked about a lot in here, she also dated him in grade school, but this was before we were friends.
Also, it's a small town. I feel like there's a lot of
we've all
overlap.
dated and all slept with each other. Yeah. Truly, like all me and my best friends. But so I don't know, they dated in 4th grade or 6th grade, I don't know, whatever, but we like I hope he doesn't listen to the podcast, but we've talked about like, I don't know, he DM'd something, reacted to one of her stories, and she texted like me and was like, oh my god, like he liked my thing or whatever. It's this joke. We have long running jokes. And then we were like going back and forth, like, I can't believe like he would do that. Like I thought we were, you know, we're just joking. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, our song was Hero by Enrique Iglesias, but that was their song too.
Not
so this
cool.
little boy is going around dating little girls and saying, this is our song, babe, it makes me think of you. But he was saying the same song to everyone, and that was some hot pipe and tea that I uncovered recently.
Player. He said, I'm going to hit him with the Enrique.
And the basis, because we didn't go to the same school, I think we hung out all of maybe 3 times, but the basis of this relationship, which I don't even remember how long it lasted, maybe 3 weeks, but it was on MSN Messenger.
Not even AIM Messenger.
Our town didn't do AIM.
What?
No, we were all MSN Messenger.
Oh my gosh, my town. Los Angeles did AIM.
Yeah, I had an AIM because we always called it AIM. I don't know. I had one because I met like someone from out of town, like my friend's cousin or something. He's like, let's talk on AIM. So I had an AIM account, but there was like 3 people on it. MSN was...
That's cute how you called it AIM. It was always AIM.
AIM. Did you guys do this where, okay, so MSN Messenger or AIM, you know, you could have the like little away messages and stuff.
Yes.
But we would all message each other and be like, who's your top 5? And like you would say who the people you had crushes on were, even if you had a boyfriend, and you would put like your boyfriend at the top or your girlfriend at the top. Did you guys do that?
No, we did a lot of like sad song lyrics.
Yeah.
Or be right back, homework. That was a big one. Mm-hmm. Or, Hebrew school, be back later. A lot of Jewish people in my middle school. But...
And we would put like, if we were dating someone, we'd have their name in our profile with a bunch of like
weird
swirlies
and or like oh, you know what the big thing was? Crazy random inside jokes, things that would not make sense to anybody else, and even if you did know them, they really weren't that funny. It's like, oh my god, upside down llama, LOL, Rachel gets it. Like that's what the away message would be.
What a time. First it was MSN Messenger, and then we all were expert coders at MySpace.
I could code a live journal and a MySpace like nobody's business.
Oh my god.
We were 12.
I would just type it out. I didn't copy and paste any code from anywhere. I mean, when I first had my MySpace, and then I like knew how to do it. I'm like, what a skill we all had when we were fucking 12 to like 15. Mm-hmm. We just knew how to code. I knew how to like change the text and the font colors,
center things, line breaks. Like I still sometimes if there's something being funky on any of our websites, I'll go to the
I don't remember how to do it anymore.
And I'll like fix some of the things.
I remember kind of like you'd put stuff in the little like
the little brackets.
The little brackets, and then crazy that we all just knew how to code back then. What a skill.
Yeah, we were all little smarties.
What a time to be alive.
Did any other exes reach out?
No.
Because I'm going to tell you something. Mercury retrograde does not stand a chance. My exes will not reach out to me. They won't. They won't. They know I don't. Well, there's one that I'm not a fan of. But they all know that I'm like, good luck, best of luck.
Yeah.
We forgive each other. We had fun, whatever. But no, I have one ex who sends me a happy birthday text every year that literally says, happy birthday, ! And then I say, thank you. And then on his birthday, I say, happy birthday. And he says, thank you. And that is our relationship.
Well, I was going to say, I have one ex that we dated the longest. It was the most serious previously. And it dragged out forever after we broke up. But we live on opposite sides of the country, which is absolutely necessary. Like, this is my, like, toxic twin flame person that, like,
okay.
you know. This is the first year he hasn't sent me a long happy birthday, very meaningful happy birthday message. I didn't even get a short one. I got nothing.
Oh, good.
This bitch right here, every year I'd get annoyed. I'd be like, he really has to do this. He really has to be so sweet and like how I'm so amazing, whatever. This year, don't get it. I'm offended. I'm like, and like I'm very aware. Like I'm very like present with this feeling of like me being like, this is what you wanted, and now, but you know, then my curiosity is like, well, what's going on? Why isn't he
still in love with me even though we're not together?
Right.
What's that about?
I'm like, and then of course like my birthday is right before this Mercury shadow period, so I'm just having these, I'm like, I just want to be like, so you engaged now? Like, what's going on? I'm not going to.
No,
I'm gonna keep my business to myself. It's what I wanted, it's what I've been manifesting, and it's happening, and now I'm like mortally offended. I'm not mortally offended, but I was just kind of like, what?
One ex, I was thinking, I think all my exes are blocked, but one was blocked and still found a way to get through to me through email, and then I had to write back and be like, I have gone to the police station and I have asked about a restraining order. That's a whole other story, it's not as dramatic as it was absolutely necessary.
Yeah,
he was just awful. But okay, on the third day of Mercury retrograde, the universe brought to Sadie.
Okay, and then the final thing is like just having these feelings, and then one specific instance of like a specific account that like Instagram told me like, you've blocked this person on a different account, and DMing me and commenting, and nothing bad, but I can't figure out who it is. And it's like immediately I had that feeling of like, this is someone from the past that wasn't good energy and I didn't want around, and how did they get back here? But like, I don't know who it is. And just some weird instances of feeling the energy of just like people sort of like stink eyes, like circling back around, that I thought like that was over with, that's just an intuitive feeling. And you know, like we both are not very paranoid in that sense. Like we worked for someone that was very paranoid, that was always like, oh, this person is sending me bad energy, and this person, and I don't work that way. I don't feel that way. No. I don't think that way at all. Because I don't do that to other people, but we can feel it when it is happening. So I feel that a little bit with this Mercury retrograde, but I'm just not going to worry about it. I've put some names in the freezer because I know who the fuck it is. And we're just going to move on, and we're going to let the freezer do its magic. So we'll see what else comes up in Mercury retrograde. I am feeling it has made me become recommitted. This is a time for a reflection, release, recommitment, reevaluating. You really should just sort of like Reba.
I watch Reba every night.
You should watch Reba during retrograde. That's one of our spiritual practices. But it has made me recommit and take more seriously my meditation practice, which was kind of getting a little flimsy, where I was putting it off a lot of days and not feeling good. And I have been like adamant like every single day. And so I feel like all of this stuff is just, I'm taking it as like it's working in my favor, because it's making me take extra good care of myself and like recommit and like reestablish these habits that I had and I was getting a little lazy with, and that just snowballs into me feeling anxious and unproductive and unmotivated and uninspired. So I'm like, I'm coming back. It's all good. we're gonna be fine. And then the last, oh my gosh, we've been catching up for 45 minutes.
I'm like, now that we've spoken for an hour.
I have this last funny thing. So I've talked about how I'm watching Selling Sunset. And I rarely watch reality TV. I'm like I just keep rewatching New Girl in the Office and like my shows over and over and over again. But I was like, I want to watch it for these houses, whatever. So you all know I've been watching it.
Good houses, good fashion.
My once every 2 or 3 years reality show that I watch. And I'm almost finished with it now completely, which I'm like kind of relieved because a lot of it makes me very anxious, and
me too.
You really pick up on the energies.
Yes.
So I think that's why I don't watch a lot of it, because it like the drama that's stirred up and stuff. Like I'm like relieved that I'm almost done with it, but I had to watch it all play out. But I found it very funny and very LA of me that I have 2 connections to people in this show.
Oh, okay.
That kind of just popped up. One of them is one of the, not a regular, just he popped up once as like a guest appearance, another realtor that helped one of the girls sell a house. Like he asked me for my phone number once and wanted to like hang out and take me out, and like he just lives really far away, and I never bothered following up with that. But we texted for like a few days, and like he's cool and whatever. And then like more recently he like liked one of my old texts, but I was like, if you want my attention, you need to send me a text message. That's such a weenie move to like something so you pop up as a notification.
Yeah, no.
Like I'm not gonna text you, like no. Be an adult human. But I thought that was hilarious. I was like, wait, I know this guy. He has my phone number. And then the second thing was, which is just funny, but so Chelsea, who's in season 5. And so she comes on the show. She's the South Bay connection, which is where I live. She's in Manhattan Beach. She wants to help, expand the Oppenheim group to cover like this area too. I mean, not my town, but like the town right over. So anyways, where I work out, Shine Studio, which is amazing. They were posting like, if you want to come to this class for free, it's going to be filmed for TV, and it's not a class I typically go to. And I was going to do it because I thought, well, that would be fun, but I like go to yoga at that time, and I really like that yoga class. I was like, whatever, I don't need to do it. And I think it turned out for the better that I didn't go, because apparently it was not very fun. But so this, people talk and know, and they needed something. They wanted to film a segment for this workout called Pound, which is like with like drumsticks. It's really fun. And it was with Chelsea from Selling Sunset to do a segment for basically like a Today Show type show, but in the UK. So they were going to be sending this footage for them. So I didn't end up going, but I was like, how weird that like that Selling Sunset person is filming at my studio that I go to all the time. And I guess she was just kind of a diva and like barely did the workout. And then like there was a meditation portion at that, and she was just on her phone the whole time and just like totally didn't give a fuck about being there.
She had a house to sell.
And everyone said just all the people that were there to like do the cameras and direct and stuff were just like totally disrespectful into the space and to like the teachers and stuff. No. So I was like, I'm glad I didn't go and pick up on that energy. But I was like, I feel like a true LA girl that I'm watching a reality show and I have 2 connections to the thing. How fun.
Of course.
How fun. Of course. So let's get to
all right.
what you came here for.
And a partridge in a pear tree. Okay. Let's talk about
that was weird.
What? The song?
Yeah.
No, it was the end of
I know.
Just out of nowhere.
Yeah, like,
My home sweet. You're like, why are you
America? Feeling silly. Okay, let's go. Hey Mickey, you're so fun, you blow my mind. Hey Mickey.
Hey Sadie.
Okay.
Hey Witchy.
Okay. Hey Witchy. Okay, let's talk about it. Manifestation, witchcraft. What's the difference? What are we about? What are we doing here, Juliet? Take it away.
Okay. So
what the hell is going on?
What's even happening? So when we started our journeys together, yet separately, yet together, we went all in on manifestation.
Yeah.
we thought, oh my gosh, this is profound. This is game changing. These steps work. It feels good. It's very fun. It's very exciting. And we loved it. And we manifested a lot on that journey with those tools alone. And it's very powerful if you know how to use it. And I have a particular belief about manifestation where there are universal laws about it. And then I believe in a 13th unofficial universal law called sometimes shit just happens, because sometimes shit just does happen. And it's not that you manifested it or you're a terrible person or you attracted something bad. Sometimes stuff just happens. So you can use the information and the energy of manifestation to, have a new perspective and sort of take back power in your life, and you can use it for good. And we did a lot of that, and we've manifested so many amazing things. What really took our practice and our lives and our business and our beings to a whole new level, which for me was scary at first. Sadie dove, all in. But what was really the game changer for us was this witchcraft piece. And I had to move past any beliefs that I had that it had to look a certain way, be a certain way, I had to dress a certain way, I had to speak a certain way, that it couldn't coincide with other parts of me, a part of me that is still curious, still open, still Jewish. It was really about, is this something I can integrate into my life that's going to feel good and transform me? And the answer was yes. So I wrote down a couple things about how witchcraft specifically has completely transformed my life. And the first thing that I wrote was, as a level above manifestation practices, I would say, is that witchcraft really brings you into your body. Witchcraft really has you doing things with your hands. It's very physical. It's very tangible. Instead of visualizing and feeling something, which is important, and we do that, we're putting spells together, we're moving things, we're making things represent things, we're touching things with physical energy, we're lighting candles, there's just some more movement and there's some more actual embodiment, and I feel like I'm more of a participant in the manifestation process than ever before. So I'm wondering if you had any thoughts about that or anything to say about that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that is one reason why it's been so effective for me. Cause I mean, it's funny that it came up earlier, but like I mentioned, I learn by doing, and I feel very connected by doing. I learned how to run a business, not because I took business classes, but because I worked at a retail store and very quickly picked up on all that and became a manager. So for witchcraft, it's so involved and you're so present in it, and it's a way of life. It's a way to make manifestation something that you don't have to be thinking about all the time or obsessing over. But to be a witch is to be present and intentional in the way you move through your day and through your life. And so to me, it was that I think when I first learned about manifestation, and this is common, you might feel a little bit of anxiety about how powerful you are, which is, I get it. Because we, just as much as there are bad things that happen to us that we're not manifesting, we also are capable of manifesting bad things. So it is within our power. And it's really, being a witch was able to take that sort of anxiety about when I think negative thoughts or when I, react in poor ways or react really negatively to things that happen to me. Being a witch helped me sort of be about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's no, this is who I am. It's not.
That's my next note. So funny. Yeah.
It helps me. That's what I mean. That was really my thing. It's being a witch is a way of life, and it makes manifestation is one part of being a witch, and being a witch is one channel for manifestation. So there's no difference. They're just sort of parts of each other. There's these intertwining pieces. You can manifest and do amazing things and practice manifestation and not be a witch. We just both personally found it much more powerful and much more fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, to practice manifestation this way.
The next thing I wrote down was that manifesting is something that I do, and being a witch is who I am.
Is who I be.
It's who I be. And when we change, the biggest, most important thing we can change is who we are at an identity level.
Yes.
It's the top of the pyramid. It trickles down to everything else. Because if this is who I am, what do I believe? What do I value? What's my environment? What do I do? How do I act? What do I say? It all trickles down. So it can feel really good to step into this energy of like, I'm a powerful witch. I believe in magic. I believe in myself. I believe in my inner power. I believe that magic's at my fingertips. I believe that there's still so much beauty and enchantment in the world. I feel connected to nature. I feel, as a result, that I can work with the universe. I can co-create. I can manifest because it's who I am. And that's really, I think, the biggest powerful shift is it's no longer something I'm doing. It's someone I'm being. So, whether the word is witch or any other word you're going to use, goddess, fairy, mermaid, whoever you are, whatever you want to be. It's the same thing with business. It's like we could say we're trying to do a business. We're trying to build a business. I don't like the word trying, but we're building a business. We're creating a business. No, we are business owners. We are CEOs. It's who we are. It's how we be. It's who we are at an identity level. So the witch piece helped it really click in this whole new way. It like really integrated it into my body. Again, it all comes back to the body, which I think I've never had an experience like this because I am somebody who's very much in my head. I'm a thinker, I'm a planner, I'm an organizer, I'm a doer. And so for something to bring me back into my body has been the biggest gift of my life.
Yeah, I think exactly what you were saying, like when we first learned about manifestation, which our whole like existence surrounding us is a manifestation. Like we manifested these chairs. We thought we want chairs for the podcast studio, and then we took action by going to the store and paying money and getting them delivered, right? So like everything big and small is like a manifestation. And because manifestation is really just something coming into physical reality. So what we are talking about is intentional manifestation, a choice to bring something into our life and a choice to believe like what I decide or something better. And I think that when we first learned about manifestation and this power that we have, it sort of felt like this river maybe running by me, and I was able to jump into that river and manifest some things, but then I would come back out. It was this detached part of me. It was something that I was able to like tap into, but then I wasn't always in it.
Yeah.
But as a witch, it has brought that identity level to me where it's like, oh no, like I am the channel, I am that river.
Yeah.
Like it's not a separate piece of me, and that's the truth for all of us, whether we identify as a witch or not. But for us, it's like this identity level of like, oh, I am a manifestation because I am in physical reality. And, it's the identity level. It's not this manifesting power is not a separate piece of me that I have to tap into. It is a constant flowing, running, vibrating, buzzing part of me that I'm constantly a part of and within, and it's just this universal spiritual connection that we're all a part of. And yeah, it really helped me sort of bridge that gap of like, okay, well, right now is my manifesting time. Let me sit down and journal, and let me sit down and visualize. And it's like, no, I'm constantly manifesting all of the time. And then that makes me really present to when I'm feeling funky. And I'm like, if I'm feeling funky, then I'm probably gonna end up manifesting an argument with my partner, or avoiding the responsibilities I have to like keep my house clean or whatever it is, like because my energy feels off, so I am going to manifest some funky stuff if I don't take care of that. So as a witch, I'm present with that, and I go, oh, I also have the power to tap into what this is about and how to move through it and how to release it and how to shift my energy. So it's been this really powerful, like not only manifesting amazing things in my life, but manifesting a way to feel good, even though there are parts of me that I struggle with, like anxiety and grief and those things. Like I still get to live a hot, juicy, delicious life that feels really fucking good, even though there are parts of me that have this, because I'm a witch and I have the power to do that. And I just fucking love it. And it's been the most healing, satisfying, fucking magical, miraculous journey. And we haven't even really fully claimed, witchcraft as a part of our lives for that long.
I know.
And I just can't even imagine what life will be like in a year from now, a few years, because it's just been so fucking powerful.
Absolutely. The next thing I wrote down was, I feel like I understand myself. I feel like there's pieces of me that were always there, that I either kind of hid away or didn't give much attention to. There were so many signs that I had intuitive abilities growing up. There were so many signs that I wanted to create magic in the world. If you know me from music, you know that my live shows were always like a little portal for magic. I really went above and beyond to create that for people. And it's just, I just feel like I get myself. I accept and love myself more than I ever have. And I don't feel like I have to be perfect or like I have to be like anybody else, because I'm a witch and the way I do magic is the way I do it, and I'm free to do it that way. And there's a question that comes up a lot in the manifestation world, which is, and we love the manifestation world, which is how much time a day do you spend manifesting? And it's like, oh no, this is how we would phrase it. I'm a witch. I'm just a manifester. I don't spend time. I'm consistently, it's what you just said, like I'm consistently in a state of manifesting.
Yeah, like we have fun. We spend time in ritual, but it's mostly about the ability to be present, because when you're present, the moment is what you make of it. You can feel however you want to feel. You can do whatever you want to do. Like in the present moment, you're okay, right? Like you're alive, you're breathing, you're like, what can I do right now to feel good? What can I do right now to take my power back, to set a boundary? Like when you're present, like life just feels better, even in the painful times, because
the presence is good.
You feel connected to yourself and what you can do in that moment too.
And even if, let's say in the present moment, you don't feel okay, something about, I don't know, there's just something so beautiful. I just feel like I've accepted myself in such a way. Like I've been open about my journey with like mental health and just seeking support, and then finally cutting myself a break really, and saying whether or not I manifested this in my brain chemistry, which whatever, I think it was the universal law of sometimes things get passed down to us, sometimes shit just happens. I'm gonna take this moment to empower myself, because as a witch, I get to do what's best for me. I get to take care of myself, and I get to not judge myself for that. And so for me, that looked like medication. For me, that looked like therapy. The therapy is no longer in my life at this moment, but the medication sure as heck is. And we can as a witch, you have this freedom to frame things how you want. It's like you can create your own rules. Some situations or communities might judge me for that, like, well, you couldn't spiritual your way out of that one. And it's like, no, and I manifested a solution that was really good for me in my brain. So I just love the freedom. I love that it's a space where we can take care of ourselves. We can do what's best for us. There's so many different kinds of witches, and we love representing a more playful, sparkly side of it, because we tend to see it represented as really dark. And of course, we have many dark night of the soul moments, and we go deep, and we go dark sometimes. We're all humans with a vast number of experiences and different sides to us.
Well, I think too, it's what I've found since being on my witchcraft journey is when I do have those really, either the dark night of the souls where I feel really lost or confused, I can sit with that easier knowing that like, oh, this is just a part of the growth process. Because when it comes to a dark night of the soul, it always feels like something, a big level up comes out the other side of that. So it's like, as shitty as I feel right now, I can get excited about that. I can get my energy behind that. I can decide that's what that means to me. And then on the other side of maybe not feeling good in the present moment, one example for me would be like feeling just like really deep, awful grief over losing my mom, which I still move through that relatively often. But even with that, you know, I might in that moment feel helpless and it feels impossible to be okay and whatever. But like so many times, like Craig has said, like, what can I do to help? You know, when I'm like crying and or panicking even. And I'll kind of like, I'll be sobbing, but I'll laugh and I'll just be like, no, I just got to get this out. Like I'm very present with the fact that like this is something moving through me. Yeah. And even though it feels awful in that moment, I also have this playful energy around it because it's just like, this is just life. This is, you know, I'm a witch and I allow my emotions to move through me, and I feel fucking awful right now, but I know that in about 20 minutes I'm going to feel lighter than a feather because I got this out of me. And like, it's just interesting how, you still experience the full spectrum of human emotion and, you know, the struggles with mental health or physical health, or these things can still come. They will come. But you just feel more powerful. You're able to find where you do have power. And for me, I find it easier to have an acceptance for what I don't have power over. And just, like I approach life much more playfully because I'm like, this is it. I'm connected to myself. This is what it is. Like, let's do this. Let's cry and get it out. Let's figure out how to struggle with the anxiety today. Let's, you know, and it's just like, it's all right. It's who I am. I love being me. We'll figure it out. I'm a witch. I have that power.
I think another amazing thing is witchcraft has helped give me, and I imagine you as well, so many tools.
Yep.
So many tools. So if I'm, you know, I think the biggest trick of manifesting is to feel good and feel yourself as often as possible, right? But sometimes we're not then given like a toolkit. Sometimes we are, but most times we're not. So in the witchy world, which I love so much, is when my energy feels funky, I have a long list of things that I can physically do to move my body, to move energy, to shift energy. I can cast a releasing spell. I can burn something that clears the energy. I can move my body a particular way. Same thing with just anything. Like if I want to set any type of intention, I can light a candle. I just feel like there's a map and a framework, which in our world you can take as much or create as much or leave as much as it works for you. We don't believe there's a right or wrong way to do any of this, as long as you're not hurting yourself or hurting anybody else. But or stealing or appropriating, you know.
All love, all
respect. Goodness. But I feel like I'm just a happier, better person since witchcraft. I'm a happier, better person because I have tools. I have ways that I can mark the passage of time, the passage of emotions, the cycles in the moon, in the world, in the life. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's like, oh, I know what to do. I feel like I can say that now.
Yes.
I don't feel good, but now I know what to do. And that's been really, really good.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest pieces for me has been finally understanding my version of spiritual connection. Because I grew up Catholic, and when I was really young, I felt so like, I wanted that spiritual connection so deeply. And I was remembering this recently where, like, there were times where I prayed the rosary every single day. I mean, I was like 7 or 8. Wow. I prayed the rosary every single day. I was like, I was so in it because I really connected. I really, really connected. But simultaneously, while I felt really connected spiritually, I also felt a ton of fear, a ton of shame. I was like a little like 7 or 8 year old, like analyzing that, like I was thinking like sexual thoughts, and I had desires, and I felt them towards like women as well as men, and like I thought I was gonna go to hell, and I just like crazy stuff. Like I'm like, is this why I have anxiety now? Because this was so normal to me when I was a kid. Like I was constantly analyzing my thoughts. I thought that like I felt like I had like God in my brain, like spying on me or something, just very like, and like watching me and like tallying me, and like I was constantly thinking about the mortal sins, which are like, if you do any one of these, you're definitely going to hell. There's no coming back. One of them being sex before marriage, and then killing somebody, and then I don't remember the other one. I think there's 3. The fact that
those are on the same list,
right? I
won't get into it, but
just like crazy, and I felt so ashamed and so scared, but I felt spiritual connection so strongly too. And it's something even when I was young, and then as I got older too, like when I was a teenager, I also grappled with it. I was like, I really longed for, I felt connected to God. I felt connected to whatever, the spirit I could feel in the church. But I was like, this doesn't feel right. I shouldn't, I was like, I want to be religious, but I don't like all these rules that make me feel bad about who I am. So there was always these forces, and the biggest gift and the most healing piece of being a witch for me has been to go, oh, there's not a right way. There's not a wrong way. I think the only wrong parts of spiritual beliefs are the parts that make us feel fear and shame and self-loathing, because that's a lot of what I felt was self-loathing and like disgust for myself. And to go, oh, I'm a witch, and I understand that there is like this energy that maybe you want to identify as God or the universe or spirit. I like to say spirit. I like to say the universe. God is still kind of hard for me to say because of like the Catholic, but it is God. And to just go, oh, like it's okay for us to connect in the way that makes us feel most connected. And the point of spirituality is that it's meant to make us feel like we are safe, and we are powerful, and we are protected, and we are unconditionally loved by whatever energy is the thing that flicked the light on for all of this to happen, right? And so it's just been this deeply healing journey of like, I always was so drawn. I mean, you can't ask my mom. You could have asked my mom. I was like, she thought I was such a weird kid, because she was like, she's always praying the rosary in her bedroom, like, or reading Harry Potter. Very now we see these connections.
Yeah, it all makes sense.
But I really loved sitting in prayer and connecting. Like I was talking to Jesus or whoever, and Mary and whatever, and I loved it, and it made me feel so good. And now I'm all grown up, and I go, oh, I can have the good parts of that, and I can leave behind the bullshit parts, and I'm right, and your spiritual practice looks different than mine, and you're right, and we have a coven, a community that we're close with, that we talk to regularly, and we all share with each other the spells and the meditations and the practices, and they're all a little bit different, and they're all right. Like, it's such a freedom to say I can be spiritually connected, and I don't have to follow all these bullshit rules that make me feel bad. Yeah. It's being a witch is coming home ultimately.
I wrote Yeah, it feels like home.
Yeah, I feel at home with myself, with my heart, with my desires, with my body. I don't feel shame about the way I see the world or the way I look out into the world and feel desire. I'm like, oh, it's cool to be me. I like being me, instead of being like, I'm wrong and I think these bad things. I mean, it's just like, it's such a night and day shift, and it was a lot to unpack, and it took a while before I got to this place, but it's just been so incredibly healing. And I definitely get triggered. You know, I have that one family member that we've talked about before, and it definitely still affects me, because I do have that sort of like, you know, we like to fondly call ourselves recovering Catholics. I do have that part of me still, but it's just claiming my title as a witch, and that identity has been the ultimate healer and the ultimate empowering piece that has put the mindset and the manifestation and the personal development and my spiritual side and brought it all together into one, and has made me feel like Sadie. Like, that's it.
I love that. I feel the same way. I mean, I didn't grow up Catholic, but I feel the same way about feeling at home. That was the next thing on my list. And yeah, it felt like coming home. Mm-hmm. And a big piece of that was that we called in an amazing community of other people who either identify as witches or don't, and just enjoy pieces of witchiness from time to time. However, witchcraft and magic appeals to you, there's no right or wrong way. There's no right or wrong amount. There's no, correct or incorrect way to do it. Like, the community aspect from coming forward as witches has blown me away. It has blown me away. Our community is, I think we started off, before we even had the witch piece in our title, in our branding, in anything, it was like, oh yeah, just come into a group chat and we'll hang out. And what it evolved into, again, we have almost 100 people in there, people that we love and care about so deeply. I feel like I'm so safe to be myself. I'm so safe to share all the sides of me. And it's so cool to feel so supported. Like, there's such an incredible thing that happens when like-minded people come together who all share a passion about the same thing. And in our witchy world, it's like everybody shares a passion for finding magic in the everyday, for learning more about what interests them, what excites them, casting spells of just pure beauty and abundance and excitement and love over their lives, and manifesting the things that they deeply desire and not feeling any shame around it, or thinking they're asking for too much or wanting too much, or that what they want takes away from somebody else. So yeah, coming home, finding community, it can feel a little lonely to try to manifest by yourself. It's totally possible, but sometimes to get into community and share your experiences with other people, that the witchcraft piece has allowed that to unfold for us. So that's another thing that helped take our manifestation practice to the next level. It brings it into our body. It's a piece of our identity. It's who we are. We're just manifestors by nature, 24/7 around the clock. We understand and love ourselves so much more. We feel so at home, and we have this fantastic community, and it's all really thanks to witchcraft. Absolutely. And all of this amplifies the manifestation process. And when we made this shift, things started moving so much quicker. We became freaking magnets to the things that we want. It's like, it doesn't even take time anymore. It's wild.
And it's interesting, the confidence it gives you to just like ask for what you want and like go out and get it, because you're like, well, I'm a witch, so it's mine. This or something better. Yeah. Like and this is part of Juliet's just already go-getter magic that she's always been about, but I feel like the witchcraft amplified it tenfold, where it's like, oh, we want to work celebrity events. Well, I think we'll just reach out to a celebrity party planner, and voila, we've worked celebrity events. And it's like that person was put in front of our like face at the right time for us to go, oh, this is in our line of vision for a reason. Let us reach out. Let us co-create with the universe. So it's just been very interesting the ways that we've been met more than halfway, and then it feels so easy for us to close that gap and go, oh, I see, this was put in my knowledge, my field of vision for a reason. Thank you, universe. I'll go ahead and yes, please, I'll take that. So it's not only the miracles and the surprises whooshing into your life, which absolutely happen. But it's like when you identify as a witch and someone who is powerful and someone who doesn't just let life pass you by, but you're very intentional and you say, I desire this, I'm calling it in. And then when it comes in, you are more than willing to close that gap and take the action and be bold and go out there and do it. So with all of this being said, if you feel lit up and excited about being a witch, about learning more about manifestation, we have lots of great episodes about witchcraft and manifestation to go take a listen to if you're new around here. And right now we are in the midst of launching our favorite ever witchy program, Activate Your Magic. And what this is a 9-week program where you get close mentorship with Juliet and I, and a community of, witches and goddesses just like you who are ready to fully commit to creating magic in your life. This is the groundwork for what we learned at the beginning of our witchcraft journey up until now, how we've become experts at manifestation, the path we took to go on this ultimate journey of self-discovery, because I really believe that a big piece of being a witch is actively getting to know yourself on deeper and deeper levels and expanding and growing into that. So it's a journey of self-discovery. It's becoming an expert manifestation babe. And then it's about awakening your inner witch and bringing magic into everyday life and it being a part of you. It's who you are. It's who you desire to be. And this is the program to fully dive in with close mentorship with us and a community. So if you're interested, send us a DM because the waitlist is closed, but we're really nice and we might just send you the early bird link if you send us a DM the week this comes out. But stay tuned. The official launch is going to be a week from now. It's going to be Sunday night. So keep an eye out. Make sure you're following us on Instagram and TikTok at Goddess Hangs because we're very excited.
We're very excited.
It's the season of the witch. We're going to take you on a 9-week journey to awaken your inner witch, to activate your magic, to discover more about yourself, and to become an expert manifester.
It's also an amazing, amazing program for anybody who sort of wants to get down to the heart of what they really want, who they really are. There's a lot of amazing emphasis on discovering your divine purpose in just really tapping into those desires, maybe desires that you've had hidden. People's lives have radically transformed after taking this program. And also we have the best time doing group coaching, group mentorship. You get to be in a Telegram chat every single day with us, talking to us, making amazing new witchy friends. And we do 6 live calls throughout the program. And there's also an amazing video of pre-recorded content and journal prompts and other magical gifts, plus bonus content. Oh my God, it's so good.
So much. You get so much and you get to spend 9 weeks with us. And it's so fun to get to know you. Like that's the biggest gift of running programs like this, where it's like a group coaching, because we just love the magic of seeing you all come together in community and support of each other. There's something really powerful about that. And then we get an opportunity. It's what we love about our Discord too, is just like, we like knowing who we're talking to here every week. It's really special and it's really cool. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to do that. And so check out Activate Your Magic. And then you can also join our BFF Discord, our coven, if you want to hang out with us every month on a live Zoom call and be a part of our full moon group spell and get a moon guide every month that gives you information about the energy of the moon and journal prompts so you can craft the perfect intentions. It's lots of fun. And anything else before we hop off?
We're just so grateful to know you. We're so grateful to have you in our world. If you're newer, again, reach out to us anytime. Say hi. We will respond to our DMs over on Instagram. Send it to the Goddess Hangs page. Leave a comment on YouTube. We'll see it. And we're so excited to see who signs up for Activate Your Magic. I know this is going to be a powerful, exciting round. If you've never spoken to us, never been in our Patreon, you can still sign up for Activate Your Magic. There are no prerequisites. Everyone is welcome. At any level, if you're like, I'm just sort of interested, like, what is this witchy thing about? Or if you've been doing it for a little while, everyone is welcome. We are so excited to be your guides and be your mentors and teach you everything we know, all the tips and tricks and tools and truly the lifestyle and the spiritual knowledge, everything we know that allowed us to manifest this absolutely incredible life that we lead. So we cannot wait. DM us if you have any questions or if you want that early bird link. We will do a nice little thing and send it to you.
We're really sweet.
I know.
So make sure you're following us at Goddess Hangs. Follow at bizwitch.inc for fun biz tips and inspiration. It's about how we have built and are continuing to build the Goddess Hangs brand. So if you have a side hustle or a business of your own and you're obsessed with how did they do all of this, the brand is so great. Go follow bizwitch.inc.
We'll teach you.
We'll tell you how we're doing it and how we have done it. And then I am Sadie Olson.
I'm at juliet.piper.
Lots of fun stuff to explore in the show notes. So go check out all of our links. There's merch, oracle decks, all sorts of stuff. So we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.